All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to be replacing the sacrificial anode that is inside this water heater here, Rheem water heater, model number PROE50 T2 RH95. So this water heater is probably about going about 2 years old. And today we're going to be replacing it with this Corro-Protec powered anode rod. It's supposed to last a lot longer than the ones that they put in the water heater, and it should extend the life of the water heater quite a bit. So essentially what you do is you replace the existing anode rod in there with this one from Corro-Protec, and it does require a power supply. So you do need to make sure that you have a receptacle close by. Some of the benefits, eliminates sulfur smell, reduces sediments accumulation, stops corrosion, and reduces air in hot water. So I'm going to try it out. All right, so the first step is you want to come in and you want to turn off the power supply to the water heater. So you just go to your panel box, or if you have a breaker close by your water heater, you can turn it off there. So for me, looks like it is on breakers 9 and 11. You can see that here, WH water heater, 9 and 11. So we have the range, then we have the dryer, and then this right here will be the water heater. So go ahead and turn that off, and then move on to the next step. All right, so once you turn the water and power off to the water heater, the next step is to actually drain some of the water from the tank. Corro-Protec, they don't recommend, they say that you don't have to drain the entire tank, but in my case, I'm going to, and that is because whenever the builders put this tank in, this PVC pipe is kind of sticking out and it's kind of in the way. So I'm actually going to drain the tank completely and then shift this over here, and then I have an elbow here that I'm going to connect it to, and it's just going to be a straight line that drains out that way. So in my case, I am going to drain the entire tank. And it's actually never been drained before. And this tank is over 2 years old, so it's probably a good time that I do that. So I have a hose that's going out to the street. In your case, Corro-Protec only recommends probably doing a 5-gallon bucket or two, so you could just attach a small hose and then drain it that way. So I have the hose attached, and then we're going to turn on this valve here, and that'll drain all the water. And then to also, speed up the draining and also to relieve the pressure, you can turn on a hot water valve within the house, and that should get some air in there and help the draining speed up. All right, so we're all ready here. Go ahead and open this up. There it goes. All right, so I don't know if you heard that, but it is definitely open, and we'll go ahead and check the other than the hose. All right, so the water is being drained from the tank right now. We'll go ahead and move on to the next step, which is to start the removal of the old anode rod. So you just want to pop this little cap here. All right. And then there's a lot of this foam here. So what's going to happen is we need to go in here and we need to rip out all this foam and then get to the bolt, and then we will unscrew the anode rod so that we can replace it with the new one. So I'll go ahead and set up the camera, and we'll start moving this foam. All right, so I got most of the foam removed here. There's just a lot down in this hole, so I'm going to take the shop vac and just kind of get it down in there and clean things out, and we'll see how it looks from there. All right, it's looking much better. Just gonna carve out a little bit more. Give myself some more room. All right, you can see now that we have removed a lot of the foam and we've exposed the bolt down there. To remove this, you're going to need a 1 1/16 socket, 6 sides, and we're going to go ahead and grab that socket and we'll go ahead and remove that bolt. All right, so we have the 1 1/16 socket right here. I've got it attached to a breaker bar. I have an impact driver, but fortunately that's not gonna fit in here just because I have the pressure tank right above it, and it just won't fit. So we'll give this a go and see if we can get it. Trying to be careful not to have the tank spin on me. So I actually added a little bit more water back, and I didn't drain it completely, just so the tank will be heavier. Yep, that thing is in there. All right, so I was able to actually find an extension, and I'm going to try to use the impact driver here because using the breaker bar is not working. It is really stuck. So we'll see if I can pop this loose. All right, so we finally broke it loose. I was off video. All right, extend this. Oh yeah, it's definitely loose. Let me grab the shop vac. There's still some foam there. I don't want it to fall in. It feels like it should just lift right out. Let me see if I can grab it with these needle nose. Yep. Oh yeah. So there it is. You can see the corrosion. Oh wow. That is crazy. Yeah, so as you can see as I'm pulling it out, all this here, the rod, that's already been corroded away completely. And then everything down here, it's still corroding. So it was just one solid rod before. Wow, look at that. That is wild. So with this new electric anode rod, not gonna have to replace it with something like this. So just to give you guys kind of a close-up of the rod after it's taken out, you can see down here, it's just completely being corroded away. So actually, looking at this rod, I'd say it still has some life to it. So it probably doesn't need to be replaced yet, but we're gonna go ahead and do it anyways. I did look at the label, and my water tank is from 2021. So here's the new rod, the electric anode rod, significantly smaller than the other one. and it just goes right down in there, and then it attaches to the power source here, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's supposed to be a 20-year product, and hopefully it works out. So let's go ahead and install this. So to install this new anode rod, you're going to need a 1 3/16 socket, 6-point. Go ahead and get that set up now. All right, so I almost forgot. I need to wrap some Teflon tape around the threads of the Corro-Protec anode before I put it in. They recommend apply 5 to 6 layers of Teflon tape counterclockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll go on to the next step. All right, so I went ahead and installed the Teflon tape counterclockwise, about 5 to 6 layers over the threads. The next step is now to insert the Corro-Protec powered anode into where the old anode rod was. Line it up with the threads. Yep, that's good. Give it a nice hand tighten here. So that's good. I'll go ahead and grab the 31mm socket, and then we'll screw it in, make it nice and snug. All right, so you can either use 31mm socket, or like I mentioned before, you can use the 1 3/16 socket. That's what I have. Insert that on there. Tighten it down. So it says do not use excessive force when tightening. So I'm just going to kind of tighten it to where it's snug. I'd say that's probably pretty good. Don't want to over tighten it, that's for sure. I'd say that's pretty good. All right. Let's check one more time. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. All right. So now that step's done, we're going to move on, and we're going to install the black grounding connection on one of the tank cover screws. So the grounding connection will actually attach to the top here, and then it'll attach to one of these cover screws that I'll show you guys. All right, so I have the power adapter all unraveled. So the next step, as I mentioned, is to attach this piece onto the top of the Corro-Protec, and then attach this piece here onto one of the screws on the tank cover. So I'm going to choose this one over here because it's out of the way. So I'm going to grab my screwdriver, attach that on there, and then attach the other end, and then that goes down to the power adapter that I'll be plugging into a surge protector. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you guys it done. All right, so we attached that piece there to the tank, and then we have the piece attached to the Corro-Protec. So actually, they recommend that you crimp down the female connector with some pliers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Crimp it down on there. Might need some more. Let's see, that should work. All right. So now the next step is actually to turn the water supply back on. So my drain valve is closed, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on. There we go. All right. So just some quick notes here. So we're on step 14. It says when refilling the water tank, always open a hot water faucet to allow any trapped air to escape. So one of my water faucets is still on. So I'm going to wait until the water fills up a little bit more, and then I will go ahead and plug in the power supply to a 110 volt outlet. All right, so the tank is definitely done being filled. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the power supply for the tank at the breaker box. All right, so I went ahead and plugged in the power supply for the Corro-Protec. And if there's a green light on, then that's a good sign. So I'm going to clean this up. The Corro-Protec wouldn't reach the outlet that I have, so I had to run an extension cord that's connected to a surge protector. So I'll find a better solution. But so far this works right now. Let's say everything's looking good. No leaks there. Corro-Protec's installed, and they say that as long as that light's on and it's not off, then it's working. So I believe that is it. Appreciate everyone watching the video. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer anything. And once again, thanks for watching.